Welcome back to Mysterious Crimes. I'm Ed, and tonight, we explore the tragic and baffling murder of a teacher whose life was stolen in the quiet town of Neptune City, New Jersey. This is the story of Jonelle Melton, a woman loved by many, and whose death left behind unanswered questions. For years, Jonelle Melton was the kind of teacher every child deserved. At just 33, she was a bright light at Red Bank Middle School. Passionate, compassionate, involved. A 7th grade social studies teacher who also coached dance and cheerleading. She believed in her students and they believed in her. On the morning of September 14th, 2009, Jonelle didn't show up to school. It was unusual. Her colleagues grew concerned. But it was her ex-husband, a fellow educator, who took the initiative to go to her Neptune City apartment and check in on her. What he found would shatter lives. Inside, Jonelle Melton was found murdered. Her apartment showed signs of a brutal attack. Nothing about it made sense. She had no known enemies, no signs of forced entry, and no witnesses. As the investigation began, suspicion turned toward the person who found her body, Jonelle's ex-husband. He had recently divorced her, but the two remained connected. His presence at the scene, his access to the apartment, and, critically, the fact that his DNA was found inside raised immediate red flags. For years, he was seen through a lens of suspicion. He cooperated fully with investigators, insisted he had nothing to do with the crime, but the whispers wouldn't stop. He was judged, shunned, and quietly investigated over and over. Even though he had no clear motive, he remained in the shadows of guilt. But then came something that didn't add up. While his DNA was at the scene expected, given their recent relationship, other DNA was found too. Unknown, unexplained, multiple individuals. This turned the tide. The case stalled. Months became years. No arrests, no answers. But behind closed doors, detectives refused to give up. They dug through old burglary records, prison interviews, gang affiliations. Then a tip came in, anonymous but credible. An inmate claimed to know something. A burglary that went wrong. Names were whispered. Men who had targeted a drug dealer's apartment in the same complex that night. But they broke into the wrong unit and found Jonelle instead. The pieces fell into place. James Fair, Gregory Jean-Baptiste, Ebenezer Bird, and Jerry Spaulding. All connected, all violent, all capable, and one of them finally talked. In 2017, James Fair pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 82 years. 2 years later, in 2019, the others faced trial. 9 weeks, emotional testimony, mountains of evidence. The jury found them guilty of first-degree felony murder and robbery. Jonelle's family wept. Justice at last had arrived. Jonelle Melton should have been in her classroom the next morning, laughing, teaching, inspiring. Instead, she was silenced by senseless violence. Her family, especially her ex-husband, had to live not only with her absence, but with the weight of injustice and suspicion that never should have been theirs to carry. Jonelle's students remember her. Her colleagues still speak her name with reverence. Her life made a difference, and though it took a decade, her killers were finally unmasked. Thank you for joining me for this heartbreaking journey. If Jonelle's story moved you, help us keep telling these stories so victims are never forgotten and justice is never abandoned. Like, subscribe, and support Mysterious Crimes. I'm Ed. Until next time, stay vigilant and stay curious.